Hello.
We're finally
Greetings,
here.
everybody. We're finally here.
The moment has come.
This has been an idea that I had to do over a year ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
To get together to eat all the spicy Hot Ones wings. Why don't you lift up your palate and show the fine people? 10 wings, 10 wings of death
The
right
wings of
here.
death.
10 sauces. We're about to take it down. We've been planning this a long time, and we've been very, very excited. But now there's so much apprehension in the room.
Yeah, my stomach is sick.
What?
I am full of the butterflies,
Yes.
the moths.
Uh-huh.
I think there's a bird in there.
What we just did that doesn't usually happen on Hot Ones, we sauced our own wings. So we're sitting here with these bottles of toxic sludge, spreading them over, and now we have to put them into ourselves, and we've smelled them. We spent a lot of time looking at these.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really nervous.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
I think I'm cautiously excited, but there's like a hard breaking point in these where it's going to turn from this is a fun thing we're doing to oh my god,
why are we doing this? And along with eating these 10 wings, we do have milk. Papa Community's in the chat.
Don't worry, Pops.
We're prepared.
We got some milk. We got some water.
And we're going to chat for a few before we get started. And I want to bring up what I've been saying a lot about this is I am pretty – how are you with spicy food?
I am generally pretty good with hot stuff. Like I like hot things. I have not met anything that I didn't create myself that wasn't too hot for me to eat.
Okay, and you're also very much a showman when it comes to your food, whether it's amount of food you're ordering. For those who don't listen to the podcast enough to know, I witnessed it yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we shared the one thing you got, but Steven orders an entree and a secondary entree when he goes to the restaurant. He's told me the story that I think I told on the podcast recently. One time to get a girl's number, you ate 15 blazing wings.
I did.
I've never eaten blazing wings.
Sauce.
So I've been thinking that you're going to be a madman with this, that you're not going to take little nibbles, that you're going to eat a lot of each of these wings, and that you're going to hold off on milk until you absolutely have to.
That's my
And I feel like I have to live up to that.
He's got a match.
We've got a Ween dude in the chat. I love Ween so much. That's what's up. Hello, Doc. That's probably Drake, isn't it? Either way, I love having Ween folks in the chat. Hello.
We got any Godzilla fans out there? Godzilla, looking at you. G-O-D to the Z-I-double-L-A. Are you there?
Couple shout outs before we get started. Before this, on our Patreon, we did a kind of Good Mythical Morning inspired blind cola taste test where we had a line of 8 colas. We tasted them without knowing what they were and guessed and made a whole game out of it. It was really fun.
It was.
And it's always going to be on the Patreon, and it's worth signing up for to go watch if you haven't. And on top of that, after this, pretty soon after this, when we're just feeling awful as we're feeling now, we've got over there the Hot Ones card game, Truth or Dab. Me and Steven and our significant others, Lil and Danny, are going to join us and play Truth or Dab with us. So after we're already in very much distress, we'll have like a 15-minute Steven and I each get one butt cheek on the toilet while we just squeeze some sour stuff out. And then we're coming right back here on Patreon to do more. So you can still sign up for the Patreon, patreon.com/can'tdisappointpodcast. The reason we're doing this is to celebrate 100 episodes of our live Patreon pre-show, You Can't Diss a Pre-Show, which is always fun. It's unhinged, and we do it every week before the podcast. So this is celebrating that, and we'd love to add a couple patrons while we celebrate it.
That'd be great. We'd love to have you with us, invite you into our homes every week for a raw, unfiltered, just big old warm, wet hug. That's how I describe it.
Yeah. I love this just undivided eye contact while not forgetting the creeps out there.
I'll do some catering to both.
You and me are here. Nobody else.
We're locked in.
Nobody else.
Oh. Woo. What's hotter, the sauces or the two of us? We'll let you decide.
We're also going to interview each other. We've got some questions we've written for each other. It's going to get spicy in that regard as well. If you haven't seen us for a while, or if this is your first time ever seeing us, we have 3 podcasts going right now. Into the Time Knife, a Good Place rewatch podcast. Brokeback Bebop, a Cowboy Bebop rewatch podcast. Both of those wherever you find your podcasts, and Into the Time Knife on YouTube in video. And also You Can't Disappoint a Podcast, our community podcast, which is finished.
It's done.
If you like Community, you can watch through the whole thing with us while we wait for the movie.
Every episode.
And on the Patreon as well, we're doing a rewatch podcast of that 70s show, The Basement.
Bow, 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 bow.
Before we started, I was kind of having not quite a panic attack, but I was getting very nervous, and I'm still very nervous. But I think we've got to start.
I think it's time.
I think
Zach.
it's time. I'm gonna take a preemptive swig of water, more for speaking's sake.
Sure.
I ain't no.
You gotta wet your
I ain't
whistle
no
beforehand.
baby.
This does not count as a hot sauce drink. This is merely making sure that you, the viewer, the listener, have the most positive auditory experience possible.
I'm gonna introduce the first sauce we're tasting. We're doing the 10 sauces from the most recent season of Hot Ones, season 20, and we're starting. Do you want to show off the bottle a little bit? But the very first sauce, this is the classic chili maple. They measure the heat of these sauces in Scoville units, which kind of like fine weed is like THC. The percentage is certainly a plus. The higher the percentage, the more you're going to feel. But it's not the only thing that adds to the heat or to the experience.
Not the sole indicator.
But we're starting with the classic chili maple.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds friendly. It sounds inviting.
It does. Sounds sweet. Sounds like a nice jumping off point.
This one's at 1,600 Scoville units.
That sounds low.
That does sound low. So let's do it.
Let's do it.
Take a
Here
bite.
we go. Cheers.
Sure.
Here we go.
Do you want to?
We can touch tips.
little
Here we
dink?
go. Boom.
Chili maple.
Chili maple.
Mmm. Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. I can get behind that. It's nice. It's light. I'm not really getting much heat from it, but
I mean, it's got a tiny, tiny bit, like
Mhm.
a smoky heat.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
I'm gonna take one more bite. I think these wings are boneless.
I don't think so.
I think I ate an entire bone. If it is.
Maybe
Mm.
they are. Who knows? We'll find
Good
out.
Mm.
I must want water just to like clear my mouth out.
If you want, let's ask each other some questions. We can talk
Let's
about
do it.
the heat. It's really tasty. It's really sweet, but it's hard to pick out maple on the chicken.
Mm-hmm.
But it is chili for sure, and I feel it on my tongue. It's not spicy. I don't need water. I could eat a bunch of those without any water. But it's not quite like a Buffalo Wild Wings Asian Zing experience.
No, it's very light. This would be like a nice on like some eggs.
Did you sip
Those
water? Are you
some
taking
breakfast.
a sip of
I have
water?
not sipped water.
Are you going to, or okay? I'm excited to hear what you've got for me. Ask me a
All right.
question.
So Zach, I'm start with a light one. We're gonna get spicier as we
Sure.
go. But for this classic chili maple hot sauce, I wanted to ask what your first or favorite spicy food memory is. Because I know you like a little bit of spice, but is there something in your life that stands out either as a child where you knew that you were going to be a spicy boy going forward?
Well, I was always an attention seeker, and I wanted people to like me. You know that was
Mhm.
spicy food, but I always have had my limit. What it takes me back to is community theater, which I started really young. And when I was the youngest doing community theater, Buffalo Wild Wings was always the spot for the after party. And all like the cool adults would be there, and we'd play the trivia games. So that was probably, I wanted to be the adult. I wanted to be a man.
Yeah.
So I ate some,
You are.
not too
You
spicy.
made it.
Not too spicy, but definitely not this spicy.
No,
but I
for
do
sure.
like spicy. For you, I've got Steven.
Mhm.
As one of the, if people don't know this, I'm going to butter your bread a little bit. As one of the top performers and instructors in your dance company, of a huge company that's worldwide, what makes you cringe the most when you're watching other professional dancing?
Okay, so this is like a deep-seated this makes me like angry when I see it. and it's within some people's nature, it's the opposite of mine.
Okay.
I consider myself someone who's very like eye contact heavy. Zach, you know
Yeah,
that.
we've been
Don't have
making
to
a lot
tell
of
you.
eye contact today.
Um,
Well,
but
usually
for
my
me-
eyes are lower.
I think because I come from like my first professional experience with education was working in special education,
Sure.
then I'm very like attention focused on the student driven.
Mhm.
So when I'm performing with a student, I make it about them. It's not the Steven show necessarily.
I'm not talking about a student though. I'm talking like when you watch a Broadway show.
I'm getting, oh, I see. So
Yeah.
not professional dancing, but
Not like
professionals
you're-
dancing.
Or, I mean, your
going
coworkers
in
and stuff
different
too.
groups.
And I want your answer. It's not a very good interviewer of me to say, well, no, try
Yeah,
again.
Zach, you're
But like when you watch a Broadway show, when you watch
that's an easy one.
when you watch Dancing with the Stars.
Backwards frame. Why in plays
What does that mean?
is everyone?
Can you show me?
Sure. So Zach, we're gonna.
Oh, I have to be a part of it. Okay.
So
I wasn't
traditionally,
prepared for this.
the person leading
Uh-huh.
has their left hand on the outside,
Uh-huh.
and then they have like this is the safe frame.
Can't reach your butt.
I know we'll figure it out. But then sometimes people like do this, and
Backwards?
then they do it backwards.
Oh.
Or everyone's arms are always like this, and they like take a bunch of big like
Uh-huh.
steps at each other. Also, anything with this,
Oh,
that's a no-no. You can't turn that.
That's love making.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Okay.
for after.
Well, I don't think I just learned
But that'd
anything.
be my biggest
There
pet
you go.
peeve when it comes to Broadway show dancing and things like that. When they do some sort of like waltz or ballroomy thing.
What about like, because from being in show choir, does
Mhm.
it bother you when everyone's on stage and there are a couple of people that don't sync up? That are like their angle's a little off or their feet are pointed a certain way? Do you notice that?
I do more now than
Yeah.
I did then, for sure.
Mhm.
But I don't like big group numbers in general.
Mm-hmm.
That's one place where some people are like, "Oh, I love like 50 people all dancing together." That's really cool. But
It's hard.
Yeah, I don't like that as much. That doesn't wow me the same way it does other people.
As when it's two people, intimate, just
Exactly.
love making on the stage.
Like I said, big on eye contact.
Let me tell us about sauce number 2.
All right, so Zach, our sauce number 2 is one I've been excited
Me
to
too.
try. It
Me
is
too.
Shaquanda's Banji Ranch.
Neat.
A little bit different looking of a sauce. It's
Neat.
white and creamy.
Just the way we
Zach.
like it
Yeah.
here on Can't Disappoint podcast.
Now this one is a bit of a step up in heat and taste in terms of Scoville.
Sure.
The first one being 1600. This one 6200 Scoville units.
That's like 6 times
yeah,
the heat,
that's
potentially.
Hot. That's hot.
Okay.
What we eat first? Okay, here we go.
Sure.
Let's take a bite.
You were ready to ask a question.
I was ready for you to ask me a question. Here
Oh,
we go. Cheers.
sure.
Let's flap our little bites.
I've got one bite with a lot of sauce.
Mm-hmm. That's good. I
don't-
really like that.
I don't know if it tastes like ranch though.
No, I'm getting like some lime.
Some lime and almost like a curry kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
That's pretty good. I would eat the hell out of that.
I don't have no spice.
Mhm.
Practically no spice.
No, none at all.
Mm-mm.
That's really, it's kind of tangy. Is that the word you've used?
When you said lime, I instantly felt it.
Mhm.
What do you like better, the first one or the second one? It has a little bit of spice again. It's on like the indus tip of my tongue.
Yeah.
I feel the spice, but
It's,
so
and it's
little,
like on the back end.
almost unnoticeable.
I like a lot of flavor
Mhm.
when I cook and when I like sauce something. Because normally, if I'm using a sauce like this, it's on something that I've made that already has an underneath flavor. So I want something complimentary.
Sure.
Like for me, if I make some, very acidic, heavy chicken breast type thing, I'm throwing this right.
It's
on.
got a good aftertaste.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the aftertaste.
I think
it
I
is,
like
it's-
this one a little
It's
bit.
got like a black pepper heat. And I love black pepper. I don't put salt on my food hardly ever anymore.
Mhm.
But
Gotta
I
watch our
put
sodium.
But I put a shit ton of black pepper on everything.
Mhm. That's good.
Steven, you're a television podcaster. And I know that weekly, habitually watching television with your mom helped instill your love of TV. That helped.
Shout out to my mom. She's
Happy
watching.
shout out.
Thank you.
Do you say happy shout out or happy shout out?
Happy shout out.
Happy shout out to Mary Baker Budisa. How much did watching TV in an appointment fashion with your mom instill your love of television? And what was the number one most iconic Steven and Mary show to watch together?
Okay, so that's a great question, Zach. From the time some of my earliest memories are sitting on a couch in the house that my mom and I were in ourselves, watching like Law and Order, Friends. Like I remember vividly watching the Friends finale with her and
Wow.
not really understanding everything that led up to it. Like I didn't understand
Almost
the
20 years
concept.
ago, just like 6 or
Yeah.
7 years old.
But I remember watching the last episode with my mom, and she was excited. I was excited. I love watching Law and Order and watching different action movies and things. But I think for me, that just set off a love of so many different genres. It got me into romantic comedies. It got me into sitcoms. It got me into action. into
like
horror.
reality TV? Did you watch reality
a little
TV?
bit. Like I remember
Big
watching
Brother as a kid,
Flavor- Big Brother a little bit, watching like American Idol,
Mhm.
and like my mom calling and voting for all those shows. Flavor of Love.
I wasn't allowed to call and vote because I think my parents were afraid that it cost money somehow.
See, my mom was the one calling and voting, and so that I when they
She was
first
invested
introduced
enough,
the texting. Sometimes she would let me do half the votes and for who I
Pick
wanted
who
to
you
vote
wanted,
for.
and
Yeah.
you disagree.
Which
But what was the
sometimes-
number one show to sit down and watch
If I'm
every
thinking
week?
about the shows
Most
that my
iconic.
mom and I watched start to finish, and it was an every week thing for the entire run of the show, it would have to be something funny enough on USA Network.
Mhm.
Either Burn Notice is one that I think
Bruce
of
Campbell?
like watching. Bruce Campbell, yeah.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard it's good.
Burn Notice is good. Either
Okay.
that or Monk. I remember really being
You mentioned
invested in
really
Monk.
liking Monk.
And
I wouldn't
a
have
lot
expected
of my early
that.
memories are really tied to watching that with my mom, and that was kind of where we started, like, who could figure out who the bad guy was and what happened first. Like, it
Yeah.
was that show, big
Huh.
time.
Nice. Well,
Now,
what do you
my
got for
question for you, Zachary, we've got
Mhm.
the Banji Ranch up. Similar question. Like, you consider yourself quite the film buff, and I would consider you someone who really has a big appreciation for movies and
Yes.
television, film, and media of most kinds, right? What movie for you as a kid was the one where you were like, oh, this isn't just something that entertains me, this is like something that someone spent a lot of time working on? And when did that happen for you? Was it when you were a kid,
Well,
teenager,
that's a hard
last week?
That's a hard question to answer because when you're a kid, it's all real. The characters are real.
Yeah.
And it was when I was like a teenager, like an early teenager, when I started to think of cinema as art.
Mhm.
And it was a movie that I said was my favorite movie of all time for a long
Yes.
time. And it's a very cringy film to have as your favorite movie of all time.
We watched it
But-
together, I believe. It's the one we were about to say.
American Beauty was the first film that I watched that blew me away.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it since Kevin Spacey got canceled.
Sure.
My earliest memory of seeing a movie, though, is I remember it would have been like 1999. We were talking about remembering the 90s the other day. I remember seeing Stuart Little in the theater.
That's awesome.
I remember it. And I remember not even that young, not letting my parents leave until the credits were over. Even to the point where back in the day, at the end of the film reel, there'd be weird shapes and blobs and
Yeah.
stuff. I remember that seeing Stuart Little.
That's awesome.
So even before I knew what film like really could be like as an art form, I always like loved seeing movies and still do.
That's awesome.
Number 3.
Number 3.
What we got? We got the Donis. The Donis is the brand. Cadejo. It looks very scary. It's named after a mythical dog, but it's only number 3, although it does boast 15,000 Scoville.
That's another big jump.
doubling.
Up. That's doubling.
Double almost and a half, I suppose.
Whew. Alrighty.
That is
That's that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of staggered for mine. Here we go. Let's flap our little wings.
Sure. trying to see
Excited
what
to
my
try
best
this.
point of entry is.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
It's sweet and a little spicy,
This is the first one to me that tastes like a hot sauce.
but I could easily put on my food. That's good. That's the first one that I've really liked. They've all been good, but that's the first one that
That's pretty
tasty.
yummy. That's pretty
Let me see the
yummy.
bottle.
Here you go, buddy.
On one side, it has like a story. I wanted to tell you.
Ooh.
Mango,
Mango. That's what that is cutting through. That's good.
vinegar, mango, onion, carrot, habanero pepper, garlic, salt, pepper. This is a good sauce.
Yeah,
Cadejo.
that's
my
yummy.
favorite so
There
far.
is a little bit of heat on the back end of that, but not like unbearable, but like I know it's there. That's good.
Really good.
I like that.
What would you
quite
put that on?
a bit.
I could dip a chicken nugget in that, I think.
I think that'd be really good with eggs.
Mm.
That to me,
Yeah.
like if I'm making some eggs, I'd throw that in some ramen
Mhm.
because it has that mango, a little bit of sweetness.
Mhm.
That'd be stellar. Now, like my next question for
Mm-hmm.
you, because we have, Cadejo, it's animal based, and I know
Wow.
that we're both animal
Love my
lovers,
animals.
right?
Nice.
Do you have any special memories involving any animals? I know one that we share together, Zach, involved us having a long conversation with an older dog in a park one time.
I remember that time very clearly, and it
Mhm.
was that dog spoke to us.
That dog spoke
It spoke to
you.
us.
Mhm.
When I was a kid, I was definitely one of the kids that was a little too rough with dogs. Wasn't really aware. I had a
You
small
Beat
I had a
them,
small
headlock.
dog, and
Mhm.
I would like pull her tail,
Yeah.
and I shouldn't have done stuff like that. I was really young. So even as I got a little
Go
older,
get 'em, boys.
you know-
we got it. We got the admission.
I got a little older. I turned 22. I stopped doing stuff like that. But that first childhood dog was never like best friends with me.
Mhm.
It was when we got Sophie,
Love
the
Sophie.
sweetest, tiniest, like ball of energy dog that when we first got her, she was really scared. It was a really sad situation where she was over a year old and her owner was selling her,
Oh my God.
which in hindsight, I really hate that. That's really
Yeah.
sad, but I'm glad that we got the dog and I loved her so much. And I remember that first day, I was like the first one that she warmed up to and that she
Aw.
came and cuddled up with. And from then on, I feel like I've really like spoken
Mhm.
to animals. I was going to ask you, we do a Good Place Rewatch podcast.
Yeah, we do.
Points, negative, positive, in the good place and bad place. What from the last month, if you can think, would have gotten you the most negative good place points? I know that's putting you on the spot a little bit, so take a moment to think on
Let
it.
me think, because I tend to trend a little bit more positive in those points. points. I think that especially
Okay.
over the last like couple years, I think that I've
You're a
made
big
some
boy now.
conscious decisions,
Big man.
and especially because I take Danny into account with most of my decisions.
Sure.
Um,
But like you threw something on the ground when you should have thrown it in the trash.
I think okay.
Someone
Oh,
reached
you know
out to
what?
you for
I'm gonna
help
tell
and
you
you pushed
exactly
them
what it
away.
is.
What?
I recently took a trip back to my hometown to visit.
Yeah,
birthday,
this came up on next week's
And-
podcast.
and didn't tell my mom and siblings that I was in town. Not because I didn't love them, didn't want to see them, but because I knew that I needed to get back up here in a.
Danny's got a suggestion if
shoot.
you don't.
Okay, yeah.
But
that
finish your
definitely
story.
is
We'll
worth
get to
it.
that.
I knew that I wouldn't have enough time to like really spend with them, and I didn't want to just come and rip myself away. The fabulous presence that I am, I didn't want to just like dangle it in front and yank it away.
Yeah.
And so I just didn't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
But also waking Danny up while she's napping is pretty bad and works against me usually because she does not like it.
I just want to say, I hope it sinks in that not only did you neglect to say hi to your mom, within a week of Mother's Day, when you weren't going to see her on Mother's Day.
Uh-huh.
I am
Yeah.
very much Team Mary. That's bad.
That's some bad points.
Hi, Mom, out there if you're watching. I called my mom on Mother's Day.
I called my mom at like 6 p.m. her time on Mother's Day.
I think that's about what it was for us, too. We're really killing it as sons, huh?
Woo!
Number 4?
Ask me away. Is it your turn? No, it's my turn to ask you. Right?
Introduce a sauce. We
It's
got
my
to
turn to
eat the
introduce a
wings.
sauce.
Yeah.
We both asked our questions. The heat's already getting in my head. Confession is good for the
That
soul.
aftertaste was good. I really liked it.
I like that one. Next is a sauce I'm really excited about. I feel like it's one that on the show Hot Ones, people normally comment about how flavorful it is.
Mhm.
And we were saucing the wings. This one smelled pretty good. We've got one of the Hot Ones brands. The 1st
Mhm.
one is theirs, and this one is also theirs. It is Los Calientes Verde. We're taking another multiplier up in the Scoville scale, 36,000 on this one.
36,000.
Mm-hmm.
What is it in the Heights?
26,000.
It's really close.
Mhm.
36,000 Los Calientes Verde. We doing
Let's
it?
do
We
it.
going in?
Let's do it. I'm
Oh, I
excited.
got a lot of sauce on
Oh,
this
you
side.
got a drippy.
This is the one that I like
Nice. That one's
drenched.
pretty wet. Yeah,
Okay.
let's do it. Mm-hmm.
Calm down, buddy.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
I'm underwhelmed by the heat so far.
Yeah. Heat-wise, that's not bad at all.
Ooh, it does have the most after heat so far. It does taste like a great Verde sauce.
Mhm.
Spicier than you usually get a Verde
The
sauce.
tomatillo comes through very clearly.
Say that one more time, accented.
Tomatillo.
Okay, you said it more accented the second time. One more.
Tomatillo.
It's my turn to ask you first, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You're a man who, like me, takes in a lot of content,
Mm-hmm.
and you're very anal about how you rank things,
I am.
everything. And it feels like you take all types of media and hold it up to the same scale,
Relatively.
within reason.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little bit about that and where in your scale, like what is a 2, what is a 6, you know?
So I rate on a 1 to 10 scale usually, and the place I do this most often is with anime. Great afterheat on that. Wow, I like
Tasty.
that a lot. And so I rate on my anime list kind of scale of what things are, which is a little bit different than I know the scale you rate on. Whereas 10 is like perfect, excellent. 9 is great.
You give out 6 and 7s a little more easily than I do.
I do, because my 8 is very good. 7 is like good.
Mhm.
6 is fine. 5 is average. So 5 for me is mid. That's like the middle level.
And I mean, I feel like my approach is the same, but it is a little different.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then anything below that, 4 is like not very good. 3 I think is bad. 2 is like pretty unforgivable.
And 1 is like
this should have
Hall
been
of
made.
Fame bad.
Yeah. So for me, if I'm thinking, and I do the same for albums, I have a scale and like a formula that I use for like media.
96,000 for In the Heights.
Thanks,
Thanks, Summer.
Thanks. Summer's on it. Shout out to Summer. My anime scales I rate on 5 criteria. I
Mhm.
rate on the art, which covers the animation and the character design.
Very
The
important.
sound, which covers the music as well as the voice acting. I rate on the characters themselves, which is like the characters in the show. I rate on the story, and then I do an overall enjoyment score too. So there's some that like aren't great shows, but I love them, and that kind of boosts them up for me a little bit.
That's kind of the same with movies. A really stupid movie can be like a 2 or
Yeah.
3, but still quite
hold a
fun.
high
Like
spot.
Cocaine Bear, I gave a 2 out of 5, but it was
Mhm.
fun.
I really want to see Cocaine.
The second, I have a little second part to my question.
Mhm.
Most people here that are watching know us because of Community,
Yeah.
or they know us in our personal life. Do you think it is even fathomable? Fathomable. Why is it?
Fathomable.
I
Say it transatlantic, Zach. Is it fathomable?
fathomable. No, it wasn't that much
Stop.
better. Do you think it's even that the Community movie could be a 10? Is it possible? No. My instinction
Here's
is
what I'm
no.
gonna
It's going to
say.
be a 7 or 8.
I think that it is possible to create a 10 out of 10
Mhm.
story within that universe
Mhm.
that is an hour and a half to 2 hours long. Do I think they will? No.
You
But
don't
I
think they
think-
will?
I
I think
don't
it'll
think
be.
it'll
I
be
think
10.
it'll be good. I think it'll be really good.
Because we both agree there are multiple episodes of Community that we would give a 10 out of 10 or an A rating.
Yes.
Right? I don't know.
It can't be that as good as any of that, can it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that it's possible, but you can't retread ground you've already been on. You
Yeah.
can't do D&D 3.
You can't just bring back Reba for another season and expect
on.
it to take off like gangbusters, like the original.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that it's possible. I would love to see it happen. I want to be wrong here.
I want you to be too. I think it'll be good.
I hope it'll be good.
Every time you do that, it looks like you're checking the bill.
Yeah. Ooh.
A little steep.
Can you split this 8 ways?
I'm not paying that.
It's
It's too much money.
I'm not going to do it.
I'm not doing
it. Anything you should leave fans out there? Mine has to do with episodes and favorites as well. Zach, I want to know what your go-to/favorite, if they're two different things, Hot Ones episode is. We both have watched quite a bit of Hot Ones. You think maybe I've watched a little more than you, but you've watched it more studiously lately. What's
What
your
was a
favorite
really
Hot Ones
good one?
episode?
That's a good question. I'm not a super fan
Mhm.
for the guy who didn't put some of this together.
He thinks it's okay. All right, concept.
You know, I think I do watch it more to see how every different person
Mhm.
reacts. There are some good ones. I like binged this season, so
Yeah.
based just off of that. Anna Kendrick was really
And
good.
Hendrix was really entertaining.
LL Cool J was really funny.
Yeah.
Lenny Kravitz was cool as a cucumber. But in general, I just like seeing. It's fun to see what relationship Sean and the celebrity build over the interview. It's still
Sometimes
jury's
it's a little
out on us,
flirty.
and sometimes it's negative.
Yeah.
But I don't have a good answer. Do you have a good answer
I
for a favorite
really,
episode?
I have 3 that I really, really like.
Mhm.
I really think the Viola Davis one is spectacular for a number of reasons,
Mhm.
but I think that one is really good. I love the Shaq one, so I think his reaction is my
Did
second
he walk?
favorite.
A couple people have walked.
Shaq finished it.
Okay, he just had
Either
trouble.
that or he stopped after the bomb. But they're like DJ Khaled famously didn't finish. A lot of the rappers don't finish.
Hmm.
They win.
And
back.
how?
Yeah. But my number 1 favorite has to be Idris Elba because he just got pissed. Like he was angry. And plus the
Oh, yeah.
It's so funny that that's a
Thanks
good
for
one.
coughing on me just then.
You're welcome. I wanted you to get some extra heat.
Let's take up the heat.
Let's
Number
take it
5.
up.
I'm excited. This is one of the most
This is one of
excited
the ones
sauces
you've been
for
really
me. I
anticipating.
really love Indian food.
Mhm.
Indian food, when prepared traditionally, is incredibly spicy.
Mhm.
And the fourth one had a good taste, had a little extra spice, but I'm hoping this one brings it up, actually.
Yeah.
I thought I was really anxious going into this, and I'm ready for us to boost it up a little bit.
Mhm.
Number 5 is the Brooklyn Delhi. Would it be Delhi or just Delhi?
I think it's still pronounced deli.
Brooklyn Delhi Ghost Pepper. Ghost Pepper.
Ghost
This is
pepper.
bringing it up from 36 to 39,000. So just a
a
couple
little
thousand.
jump, but I think a ghost pepper because the last sauce didn't feel that hot until
No.
the end of it. But ghost pepper is pretty an immediate like smack.
Yes. Let's try it.
Let's do it.
Good. Yeah, I see that right there.
Mm-hmm. I took a big old bite. That's good.
Mmm.
It's got
Mhm.
a little bit of sweetness at the end that I didn't expect. Or I guess in the second
Mm.
beginning.
Mmm.
And it's coming from underneath.
It is spicier.
Mm-hmm. It is. But also, I've had some ghost pepper hot sauces that are hotter than this.
No, but sink it in.
It's
Take
settling.
another bite.
I got like half.
I'm gonna take
a
another
bite.
bite.
These are boneless, by the way.
Hmm.
They don't look like it, but they are, which is I'm fine with.
Oh, it is spicy. Oh, it is spicy. It is spicy.
It's got some after heat to it, but it's still like a very dry heat to me, which is.
It's not too spicy, but this is the first one that I'm feeling all throughout my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh,
It's starting to spread around a little bit because the more
Ooh.
you chew, the worse it is.
it's crazy how 36 to 39 versus like
Mhm.
6 to 30. That's quite spicy to me. You're cool as a cucumber, though.
Yeah, I think it's got some heat to it.
Ooh.
It is a little hot on my tongue.
I feel it on my lips a little bit.
I went right past the lips. Tip of the
Tongue,
tongue
for
to
sure.
teeth, the
My
lips.
whole
Yeah,
tongue.
my tongue's a little burning right now.
Ask me a question. Come on.
All right.
I'm sick
Zach.
of waiting.
I'm gonna make
You've been
these
biting
sick.
them as if they have bones.
Truly.
Ooh. Oh man.
Okay, so this one, my number 5 question.
I
Wow,
was ready for the spice and I got it.
So my handwriting is really bad.
Mine's bad too. I'm sure you saw.
Yes. Okay, here we go. I think I
You made
figured
it out.
So this one is the ghost pepper. Zach, I know we're both.
Do I
fans
believe
of
in ghosts?
horror cinema.
Are you asking me if I believe in ghosts?
No,
I don't. Sorry.
I knew you
I
wouldn't, so that's why I didn't ask
I'm
the
not.
question.
I'm gonna answer the question that you're not asking.
Sure, Zach.
I'm
I'm
not-
not a great interviewee. He's like, you know what? I've got a better question.
I'm willing to be proven wrong, but I don't think I believe in ghosts.
Yeah, no.
So my question, mine was better. So
So my question for you, Zach, and this is not necessarily what your favorite of these is, but
The
what
Heat's died.
to you is the scariest movie you've seen? What movie has made you feel the most uneasy? Has made you want to sleep with the lights on? Has made you not want to sleep? What movie has scared you the most?
two things immediately come to mind.
Mhm.
It wouldn't be as scary if I watched it now. But the first horror movie I saw in the theater, shout out, I think Sammy Innes,
Nice.
great
Yeah.
friend, shout out Sammy,
Mhm.
was the first Conjuring. Was the first horror movie I ever saw in the theaters,
It's great.
and it was scary and it was exciting.
That movie gets a strong 9 for me.
The second thing that comes to mind in like a different direction was when I saw Midsummer and the family related trauma event that happens in the beginning of the movie
Yeah,
really hit me deep in a way I wasn't expecting that movie to.
sure.
And it like scared me in a more real life way.
Mhm.
Those are mine. My question for you.
To piggyback off of your question, Zach, 'cause
Yeah.
I'm gonna commandeer. I have very similar answers to that. The movie that scared me the most, like in terms of just like that would be The Conjuring 2.
Mhm.
That one, there were a couple moments because I watched it 3 a.m. pitch black on
Mhm.
my phone screen this close to my face.
Oh,
Terrifying.
nice.
Because I like to watch horror movies like at middle of the
Sure.
night, pitch black. But the movie that I was most real life scared of was from the same team that did Midsummer.
Hereditary. Sure.
As an older sibling, the
Car
anxiety
scene?
that was induced in a specific car scene for me was very real and scared the shit out of me.
My partner has peanut allergies, and I've lived that moment many times. Many times.
Yeah, keep your head in the car,
Yeah.
Will, for Christ's sake.
2 times you get slammed by the yield sign. You think you know.
Yeah, you think you'd learn.
My question for you, this is a little bit of a spicy one.
Ooh.
Have you ever seriously considered quitting the podcast? Seriously?
No.
Really? I was
Really?
almost expecting you to say
I
yes.
have-
Because you're a busy guy.
Yeah, I think there are times when
It's more fun.
as much as we do is a lot
Yeah,
in
sure.
the limited time that I have.
Sure.
But I wouldn't ever consider just
Aw.
like stopping because I really do love doing it.
Can we kiss?
We should.
I was expecting that to be spicy, but now I feel better about
Yeah,
myself.
I'm like I said, good place points all around for me these days.
Number 7?
Number 7
Six,
is,
number six,
Number
number
6 is one that I'm pretty curious about.
Me too.
That is going to be our Torchbearer Mushroom Mayhem. Another little
You-
jump up in here.
You should
What
take
did
a
my
look at
mom
this
say?
too. Your siblings both say they
Steven's
could be
actually
better at
seen
this.
a ghost.
No.
Steven
You
says
have?
they could be
You've seen a
better at
ghost?
this. Apparently, I don't know. Oh shit! Yeah, I guess technically, when I was in preschool, so my like great aunt died when I was younger. We had this conversation on the podcast about like early experiences.
Don't
with death.
remember.
Um,
Well, I don't
but I
remember
was
the
in
ghost
preschool,
part.
and I like at the time remembered her like saying something, like speaking to me, and like I didn't like see like woo, but I feel like heard her voice. I didn't know her that well, but so like.
And as far as your siblings, I think as so far we're doing just fine. We're enjoying the ride.
yeah,
I don't.
I'm doing fine. How could they be doing better? Be like, oh,
I'm very scared of the bomb.
yeah.
That's still a few
We're
ahead.
getting closer.
Okay. Okay.
But our next is the Torchbearer's Mushroom Mayhem,
Excited.
68,000 Scoville. This is made from portobello mushrooms.
Really
which
has
a lot of
mushrooms
times are
in it.
like a steak substitute.
Really like the bottle on this one. It's got some cool art.
It's got like a guy.
Gotta love a good guy.
Mhm.
Let's take a bite.
Let's do it.
Take a bite. This one, yes.
Hope so. Yeah, it looks like the same color.
Yeah.
Cheers. Okay. It's got an interesting flavor to it.
It offers nice variety.
It tastes different than the other ones. I don't know that I would necessarily seek out this
I ain't taking another bite
sauce, but
because it's kind of a complex flavor, and I want to really.
I can definitely taste
As
a
far
little
as
mushroomy
spice, so
action.
far I'm fine.
I'm getting a little heat in the back end of that one.
No, I'm getting a little heat, but nothing like the ghost pepper for me. What was the
It's
difference?
about the same for me.
That was 68
It's
to.
from 39.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that spicier to you? It does.
A
It does
little,
linger.
It's about the same.
The taste is kind of muted.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's okay. That's not my favorite that we've tasted, but it's fine.
I do feel the heat a little
The
bit. That's
heat's coming more now.
that's kind of the first.
I don't think I'm going to go straight for the water, but I'm going to open my Sapporo.
I'll choose you.
Cheers.
It's nice.
Yeah.
That's the first sauce that I'd be interested to try a little bit of it by itself, just to like get the flavor.
The heat's building for me on that one.
Who is
Like,
it? My
it's-
turn to ask you a question.
Yes.
Okay. Over the last couple of years,
Mhm.
you have become so much the anime guy that it's hard to separate you from that.
Yeah.
Even though you've always loved it, but it's been the last couple of years that it's been, you have limited free time and that's what you want to do. You're always telling people, I know you don't get into anime. This is the show you should watch.
Yeah.
If you could make every single person in the world watch one anime and you have to pick one, and for the skeptics, what would it be? And what's like your 30-second pitch on why it's important?
So, easy answer for me. And it's not even my number one anime. Because I don't think,
Right.
I think that everyone
Something
would
that
appreciate
appeals
mine,
to
but-
everybody.
The anime I would say is actually Mob Psycho 100.
Okay.
I think that in terms
Have you seen
of
Mob Psycho?
for me it's special to me because it's one that I watched with my brother. Like
Mhm.
we started at the same time.
Oh, that's nice.
But I was blown away because I knew it was gonna have awesome action. I knew
Your
the
mom
characters
says
were
Demon
good.
Slayer.
Demon Slayer is great, but I wouldn't
Awesome
recommend it.
characters, awesome action.
Yeah, I have a part
Which
of my
one?
tattoos of Demon Slayer. This Nezuko, the one right up here, is from Demon Slayer.
It looks great in person, truly.
Thank you. But I would say you're both a deeper pink and glistening. Communities, you should get your glasses checked.
We've always been this pink. We've just never been lit
Yeah, I'm a
properly
pinky boy.
before.
But I think that Mob Psycho 100, if I give a quick pitch, it's a show that combines some
I
of
am
the best
very ready.
animation, some of the best storytelling, and some of the most mature and creative look at handling your own emotions. It's essentially Inside Out, but it's not so in your face that, hey, these are the emotions. It's more so this is somebody who has repressed a lot of their feelings and this is how they can let them out. And here's why it's okay to have all these feelings, good and bad. But with him, because he has psychic powers, they just manifest in really large ways. But I think that it tells a lot of really great stories about friendship, about family, about like mentorship and things like that. So Mob Psycho 100, I wish that everyone in the world could see it because we don't be a little bit better people for it.
But kind of for ultimate skeptics, it's the inside out of anime.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I think people might have a hard time. People might argue that, but I'd be happy to debate for a long time about that one. I have a bit of a spicier question for you,
Oh,
Zach.
okay, let's take it.
So we both, hi mom, have had a little bit of experience with things that could be fallen into the psychedelic realm before.
Well, sure.
And on the subject
I've
of
listened
mushrooms,
to the Beatles 60s
yeah,
output.
I've heard Pet Sounds.
The
We've heard
Beatles.
Pet Sounds.
Sure. Oh, have we?
Yeah.
What's your
That
question?
one. What is your dream situation?
Because it's a mushroom
for
sauce.
a Steven Zach trip adventure. What would be like, this is the movie, who's getting the rights, who's playing us, what is like we're going to tell this story to our grandkids.
Oh, well,
What's the best trip?
with you and me,
Mhm.
what I would want to do is totally different from what I'd want to do with anyone else.
Exactly.
Because with anyone else, I'd want a quiet, comfortable, safe place, a lot of water, and just enjoy living and barely venture out. I would just want to take on the town with you.
Yeah.
I'd want to go around. I'd want to talk to people. I'd want to make real deep connections with strangers, and I think that would be a lot of fun. I think a movie of you and me on a mushroom trip in the Mushroom Mayhem trip, of course, in downtown Chicago, all the things that we would run into would be a great movie. Who would play us? I think you would be.
What age are we going to be? Like this age? Are we going to get like Danny Glover in this involved in this?
Well, the man's versatile. He could play me at any age.
I think he should.
I don't know why, but my mind went to like I don't know, like let's cast each other.
Okay, but you have to understand this is who I think could do a very funny portrayal of you, but would be so off that it would be hilarious. Seth Rogen for you, Zach.
Okay, sure.
I think
Well,
that'd
then
be
I'm
fun.
gonna take a little bit of a walk too with
Yeah.
yours, and I'm gonna cast outside of your race actually.
Okay, that's
because
okay.
people.
Sure. Why have the one person of color in the podcast? The person of color in the film. My sister said Cheech and Chong moment.
When I try to think when I see a person in a movie, and I'm like, they look like this person, and they're not a white person, I feel like I can't say it without being a racist.
Yeah, now's
I'm like,
the time.
this guy looks like Danny Glover, and
No one's
it's
gonna
like, no,
judge
he's
ya.
not. That's Tay Diggs. He doesn't look like Danny Glover. So I'm going to cast outside of your race. We talked about him earlier. I feel like Anthony Ramos could play Stephen Baker.
And that's fair.
He
That's
could
really
move.
fair. Yeah.
He's got some swagger, and I feel like his hair could be made to look like yours currently.
Wow, thank you.
Yes.
I'll take this as a compliment. As much as he's my mom said Michael B. Jordan should play Steven. Danny would certainly appreciate that. I'd be flattered if Michael B. Jordan.
She'd want to play herself if Michael B. Jordan was
She
you.
would.
We're going to move on to
She'd be like,
number
yes, really emphasis
7.
on our
I'll tell us about this one.
Yeah.
We're going from 68 to 101,000.
We're cracking the 100
With
mark.
number 7,
So
it's
far, we're doing okay.
doing great. I felt it those last 2.
Yeah.
But it's gone now.
It came and went.
It came and went. And boy, I've been
Boy,
there.
did
huh?
we.
The
Yeah.
older you get. This is number 7. It's the last one before the scariest one. So
Mhm.
we're talking about number 7, but all I've been thinking about this whole time is number
From
8.
the time we hit 5, all I can
Yeah.
see is this.
Yeah, since I got this bottle in the mail. That's all
Yeah.
I've been thinking about. But we're on number 7. Angry Goat Pepper is the pepper.
Mhm.
Dreams of Calypso, 101,000. So up a decent amount.
Let's do it.
Let me
Make
get a
sure I got
date.
the right one.
Let me get a little dinkage.
A little tap. Here we go. Mmm. I like this. Taking a second bite.
It's kind of
That's
got a
hot though.
it's kind of got a mango habanero thing going for it.
Mm-hmm, big time. Okay.
I want to know what
Okay.
the fruit in it is. Pineapple, mango, lime juice.
That definitely has some more heat on the tongue though.
Oh yeah. Oh, there it came just
Mhm.
now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh wow. It's deep and it's hitting me in waves. They always talk about how it takes 30 seconds or so. Oh, and it does. This is the first one that I really would like to drink some water, but I'm gonna try
Do
not
it,
to.
Zach. There's nothing wrong. Hey.
I'm no bitch, Steven.
Do you want me to
Ask
drink
me your
some with
fucking
you?
question.
All right, Zach.
I'm gonna storm
We've
out.
been doing podcasting in some form
Oh,
for
Jesus.
that's heat. For the last few years, you said we're coming up on
Almost 3.
our
the
20
20
anniversary. Wow, that's crazy.
I think
Yeah,
the
that's
20
hot. My mouth's starting to water.
I think the
on that one.
25th of the 25th of May. It's 3 years.
Harkening back, we've talked about this on some recorded media before.
It's getting better.
Oh, yeah, that's
I'm
hot.
sweating. I'm schwitzing.
Oh, yeah, that's
touch
hot.
my forehead.
I
That's
don't
all
like
I'm gonna
breathing.
touch.
Breathing hurts right now.
What was it?
We recorded once in your bedroom, even back in Anderson, Indiana. An hour of nonsense.
Still in high school.
Still in high school.
Oh God.
But what has been your favorite memory of us doing these podcasts together? And any podcast we pulled from, anything from the You Can't Disappoint a Podcast. We've got Brokeback Bebop.
The what?
The Padcast.
Okay.
Oh, that's hot. I really want to spit.
It's a pretty easy answer. We've had a lot of really good moments, like
I'm spitting right over there.
almost. The big moments are, of course, like
Should I
as
do
big
it?
as interviewing. Fuck yeah, if you're doing.
Yeah,
I'll
let's
it.
do that.
Cheers.
I want to be wet for the bomb.
What?
I want to be drenched.
Okay. Oh shit.
It's all right. Hold it together. You got it, buddy.
That helped.
Yeah. Big time.
The question.
That's
The
not
podcast.
I can eat that.
As big as interviewing people is, the most fun moments are when we find out it's happening and discuss it with each other.
Mhm.
And the number one is easy. It's when we were in a Newsweek article.
Yeah, that's really cool. I say even more than the Joel McHale. That was really kind of crazy being in news.
So surreal. The Joel McHale really made me feel like what we were doing was real.
Yeah.
But that made me know that what we were doing was real. I want to call out my partner, Lil. I'm very cute. Touch my nose.
Don't touch your eyes. Don't touch your nose. Don't touch your lips.
Lil always has our Newsweek article as one of their open tabs on Safari.
That's so sweet.
Very sweet.
Shout out to Lil.
Right now.
Thanks, Lil.
The other one's Kid Pics from the early 2000s.
Oh, I was like, what kids?
No. Free range.
Yeah.
It's like a Microsoft Paint type thing from back in the day.
Nice.
It's my turn to ask you a question.
Yeah. I'm getting real nervous about the next sauce, Zach. But
Yeah, well, we'll think about something else for a second. How does spending hours and hours a day sweating it out on the dance floor affect your lovemaking positively and negatively? Steven's in a relationship with his dance partner.
with my dance partner. So, are you asking it the way you read it, or is that a reverse question?
What do you mean?
Are you asking how the dancing affects the bedroom, or how the bedroom affects the dancing?
I mean more, how does the dancing affect the bedroom? But take it however you want.
I don't know. I think for all the young listeners at home, when you truly love somebody, it makes everything you do much more special. And having the connection
I licked my lips
with
and it was a bad
Danny
idea.
that's both emotional. We were friends a long time before we were anything more than that. It's like one big, beautiful pie.
That you put your Jason Biggs in.
I
Just
think
a big, goopy American pie.
Jesus Christ, I should have picked a different.
You should have.
My mom's leaving the live stream now. Bye. Yeah, for my sister.
Well, you can keep it. Hey.
No, listen. It's a beautiful thing.
Everybody does it. We do it.
Birds do it. Bees do it. Even educated fleas do it.
I'm talking more like cardio.
Oh yeah, sure.
Or
the better shape you're in, the more enjoyable your physical relations can be.
When to turn it to the negative, when dancing all day, does it make it kind of the last thing you want to do sometimes?
So this is maybe TMI. I am more of an evening person. Danny is more of a morning person when it comes to it. And
most things.
Yeah, most things. So I'm a night owl. I stay up until minimum 2 a.m. most nights, and Danny's in bed by midnight 1 a.m. usually. So the only thing in terms of that is, depends on the time of day we have energy. And that's all I want to say about that.
It's time to.
It's time for me to ask you something.
Oh, you didn't ask me. You didn't ask me a question.
I did. I asked you.
Yeah. It's time to do the thing. It's time for you to introduce a sauce.
All right. Next up, we have
the sauce.
The one.
The bomb beyond insanity.
The bomb beyond insanity. 135,000.
I got it.
Scoville.
Sorry for that.
Yeah.
I want to show.
Oh my!
I spilled my bottle of water too.
I knew it was gonna happen.
What a rookie move.
Only a matter of time until Zach spilled something on top of an outlet. But that's the sauce.
But that's the sauce.
It's very hot. It's the one that most celebrities kind of have their breakdown on.
I don't think
it makes people cry. But that's it. We're here. It's the bomb. I've been dreading this sauce particularly for a long time. I think it's going to be bad. I have to pee really bad all of a sudden. I'm sure that's going to get.
Oh, you drank the water?
Get naughty.
Thank you, Lil. The unit was not compromised. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. I'm fine. Zach's
trying to stall by trying to cause a short circuit in the system.
Yeah, if the place burns down.
I think we've got nothing else to do but do it, Zach. And we put a shit ton of this on the wing.
Yeah,
like
it's a thick sauce.
It's not like, I don't know if you guys can see this, but like everything red you're seeing.
We didn't pussy out.
Yeah, we really put a lot on here. Oh, I'm scared. My stomach isn't happy, Zach.
I'm riding on a high, kind of. You're more nervous than I am.
I feel like I'm at the top of a roller coaster.
Oh my god.
Let's do it.
I do have hesitation. How big of a bite did you take?
I got a bite with seeds. Fuck, that's hot. Pardon my language. That just is bad.
Hasn't hit me up.
You okay?
So far.
I'm just watching Zach. I'm watching him go through this.
It took a while, but here it is. I feel tingles in the back of my tongue I've never felt before. The roof of my mouth is just,
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I was waiting to react to this getting bad for me. It's getting worse and worse. That's not good.
Oh, no.
Don't do that. Oh, no.
Oh, God.
Mm-mm.
It hurts in my entire mouth. I almost want to take another bite.
You're a madman. Absolutely.
Oh.
That's bad.
Oh, Jesus. I've never felt spice like this before.
Milk didn't help. Do you have real milk? Can I try to sip your real milk?
I mean, it helps when it coats your tongue and then it's gone. It helps when it coats your tongue and then it's gone.
That's bad.
Oh.
That's really hot. That's
Initially, it tasted good to me.
That hurts.
Oh.
That hurts a lot.
It's my turn to ask you. Step by step.
Oh, no.
Step by step, what's the best way to make an at-home What's the step by step? How do you make a perfect decadent at home bowl of ramen? I have tears.
You bitch. Okay.
Because you take
First
a lot of
thing
time.
I do, I like to, if I'm doing my best ramen.
Can I say it's really bad, but I kind of it's not as bad as I thought it would be. As I have tears.
That's bad for me. I really don't like this.
Ramen. Tell me.
Okay.
Do you put meat in it?
Yeah. Step one, you get your noodles out of the package. You put them in.
Okay.
I have these like ramen things I like to use, these little containers. They're microwave safe.
Do you want another paper?
I'm okay. They're microwave safe. I put the ramen in there. First, I put on the bottom of the ramen, I put some fresh spinach. I put the ramen on top. Then I put the little dried vegetables that are in my ramen packets. I like the black shim packets. I'll touch what I want to touch. Sorry, Danny. It's just hot sauce talking, not me. And then what I do is I get the water. I use an electric tea kettle to heat up the water. And then while that's boiling, I get some seasonings. I get some lemon pepper. I get some paprika. I get some garlic powder, onion powder. I get some ground cumin because I like that taste of my ramen.
Cumin.
I get a little bit of ground ginger.
That doesn't help.
Top.
Spitting doesn't help.
And then what I do once the water's boiled, I put that in, cover it up, let it sit. Then what I do is I start my fried egg. I do it kind of a mix between fried and poached. And then what I do is I also get some ham, just some breakfast ham heating up in lieu of pork belly.
What makes it a breakfast ham?
I think it's just designed for breakfast. It's little ham slices. You can put them on sandwiches if you want. And then
like lunch meat? Like lunch
I don't
meat?
know, man.
Like lunch meat?
I don't know. And then what I do is when that's cooked, I put I wait till the eggs are done on the bottom, and I put some water in, cover the fried egg, let the steam in there so it's a mix between poached and fried.
That's a really sexual comment at communities on Twitter, everybody. Let the saliva do the work, Steven. Let the saliva just take it a ham.
Take me to ham
Just
town.
think of the ham.
Then I put the egg, and I put the thing. I put some soy sauce in with the water, and I do some ghost pepper hot sauce beforehand, and some chili flakes.
Are you crying at all? I've been crying some.
My watering has stopped. My juices are all in my
It's
mouth.
getting a little better.
And then what I do after that? Okay, I'm doing okay. My ears hurt.
You're still making the ramen.
And then I make my ramen, and then for 3 minutes, about let the water sit. Usually about the time it takes to do the eggs and stuff. I put the ham in. I set the egg on top of the ham, like a little treat.
A good ramen egg is great.
But before I do the eggs and the ham, I put in 1/3 of the seasoning packet that comes with it because I use a lot of seasonings. Gotta watch my sodium. Then I do it when it comes to eating it. Then I break the yolk, mix it all up. So then hopefully the broth. I'm a full broth guy. If the broth is still hot enough, the egg scrambles just a touch.
Do you drink the broth at the end?
Oh yeah, but sometimes it's really hot.
Really hot.
Yeah. Okay, my question for you, Zach. I'm doing okay.
I'm kind of when I close my eyes, I can kind of go to a different place.
Okay, Zach. This is the question I've been waiting for.
Oh God.
I wanted my hottest question to be with this sauce. God damn, that's a lot. A
lot of words.
Some of you may know.
Zach none of them really
was the co-creator, co-star, in my opinion.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
I almost said a popular. An existing internet show called How to Live a Better Life.
Yeah.
It was filmed in our local hometown of Anderson.
Yeah.
It was really, I thought it was funny. I really liked it. As someone who was Zach's friend, I thought that it was really cool. And it came to a time where they were going to do another season, a 4th season of How to Live a Better Life. And I asked Zach over and over, I was like, hey, I'd really like to be part of this. You know, we're friends.
There was never going to be a 4th season. It would have been for 3, I think.
It was the 3rd one?
I think so.
And I asked Zach over and over to put me in the show, and he never did. He did put other people that we knew and that were in the same friend circle as us.
People
on the show.
far less funny and
yes, and I really want to know, Zach.
Yeah.
Why didn't you put me on the show? And if it was your co-creator's thing, why didn't you fight for me?
I would like to open this up by saying yes. That was how we played in high school. We made a full show. There's like 40 episodes of it. There's some really funny stuff. A lot of people in it.
A couple really funny episodes.
I would rather eat so many wings covered in the bomb before I ever have a conversation with the person that I made that with ever again. What was the question?
Why were you not in it?
I wish I could do something other than pin it.
But
I feel like And part of this is true because I would always want to cast the girls I had a crush on as my love interest.
Sure.
So I got met with a lot of, you just want to put all your friends in it, and that's not okay. So often it was very few of my friends who were putting it. Number 9.
That's it. That's the whole thing. Why didn't you fight for me?
It's if I remember correctly, I'm sure I said a bunch of stuff like Steven's really funny. He'd be great.
Okay. All right. I'll die with that, I guess.
So How to Live a Better Life. You could probably still find it on YouTube if you want.
Yeah. Do the Do's.
A couple funny episodes, I guess. Gotcha question. Full broth guy.
Next wing.
Number 9.
Introduce it. Next sauce.
Taco vibes only. Did you tell the Scoville for the bomb?
It was like 135.
135.6 thousand. So let's talk about this next one. Taco vibes only.
I feel like lighter. Like I feel like I weigh less weight. I'm like floating a little bit.
I kind of understand when they talk about the high.
Not my best burp today on camera.
We're going from 100-something.6
I'm dizzy.
to 638,000, Steven. That's like 5 bombs. I want to show you guys some seeds. I won't spill the water this time. It's not really seeded up.
You know, I put the cap back on mine every time, Zach.
I don't know if you'll be able to see, but there's a lot of seeds in this one, and I know that seeds are scary.
Careful now.
That's fine. We don't make the same mistake twice. I don't know where it is. I didn't go back for a second bite of the bomb. That was a smart decision. I don't make the same mistake twice. Yeah. Taco vibes only 638,000. Is this one? Yes.
Wait, hold on. Did I miss? I almost bit the bomb again.
Oh, because you took a small bite.
It's not small. It's just flipped upside down.
Because you took a little wimpy ass bite.
Zach, do you see that?
Yeah, and it's
yours. It's a little smaller than yours. I'll take it.
It hit you before it hit me, but it did hit me.
I did right when my seeds
Taco vibes only.
Taco vibes only. Oh. I took 2 bites.
I mean, it's not as bad.
No.
I feel it. I feel the burn immediately in my throat. Let's give it a few moments. I'll take another bite.
So chewing. You ate almost the whole wing there. Damn. I'm gonna switch to my second paper towel here. Oh,
it doesn't taste
blood or sauce on my nose.
It doesn't taste like taco seasoning, but it does taste like a sauce that would be good for tacos.
Yeah, I think it's a little hot for maybe.
I've reached a zen kind of with it, and that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
It's not good though.
It is spicy.
It's not a good time.
I would say for how many more Scoville, it's like a third as spicy as the bomb.
It's not good behavior.
Ask me some stuff.
My number 9 question. Taco vibes only. I'm a vibes person. I move my tongue.
I moved my tongue a certain way, and it like activated new spice pockets.
Yeah, and mine's sitting in like the middle of my tongue right now, so I'm just
middle. It's like the back of the roof of my mouth.
Oh, that's tough. That's close to your uvula.
Oh, but I've like drained all the liquid I have. You know, I can't really sweat or cry much anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling weird, but weird.
Weird. I'd say weird.
Zach. I like vibes. I like good vibes. I like to set good vibes up for myself. We've been in some pretty varying degrees of rotations when engaging in libations. What is your dream? And I'll go 4-person, including yourself. Dream best vibes. Doesn't necessarily have to go on anything else. Hopefully, to narrow it down. Best vibes blunt rotation. Who is it? Like for you to have the best time, most positive. It can be people you know. It can be celebrities.
From the bottom of my heart, you, Lil, and Danny.
Aww. Danny doesn't.
Right, and that helps because that takes the rotation down a person.
That's smart.
And I laughed a shit ton last night while we all hung out.
Mm-hmm.
So if I wanted to think of famous people, I could. But of people I know, the 3 of you.
Wow.
We're going through a bonding experience. I had very dear friends watching. You mean nothing to me. My question is kind of similar.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think being a connoisseur of cannabis is similar and different from being like a wine taster? Do you think there's a similar method to finding what's good and bad for people that think it all just smells the same?
Yeah. And I go through this conversation a lot with Danny because I'm definitely we did touch toes. I kind of like it. It kind of is
now
for me.
I'm feeling full.
My foot's right on top of Zach's foot. It's helping me. I don't know how it's feeling for him.
It's one of the least favorite parts of this so far.
Okay, I'll move my piggies.
Huh?
I think that legitimately.
Pass the
'Cause I'm like
Dutchie.
that
Your
person
mom
who's
wants us to pass the Dutchie. She says.
Pass the Dutchie potty left hand. My mom showed me that song. She was a big fan of that one.
So it's her fault that you're like this.
She's who I watched that '70s show with growing up.
What's your method for like?
So
do you
here's my
sniff?
thing.
Do you
I'm
swish
a
it
big
around?
sniffer. I'm honestly more into the smell these days. I used to be like shine a light on it. Look at all these trichomes. It's sparkly. It's sparkly. But nowadays, and I live in a legal state, I'm not breaking the law. But I like the smell. I like to say, okay, does it smell piney, earthy? And I was always
What's your favorite smell?
I'm getting there.
Take me there, please.
I was always, all up until I got to college, I was very anti-smoking weed for myself, pro for it, or whoever else. I was always like, hey, if you want to do it, do it.
But I'm a
Not
good
for me.
person. Not for me, thanks.
Well, I was just anti-smoking in general.
I get that. It's not good for
Because
you.
we grew up in an era where people finally started to take cigarettes as being bad seriously, which is great because now we get to live in the era where people just, ruin their lungs with vapes instead. But, my nose is running.
That wasn't earlier.
But for me, I became kind of like a weed nerd. For me, I was like, if I'm going to do something, I want to be really good at it. I want to understand what I'm putting into my body. So before I ever smoked, I watched tons of videos
Careful with the
explaining it.
face.
And I know I'm doing a lot of research. So I'm kind of a weed nerd about it. So I like the science behind it. I like why it does what it does. And that's how I'm very picky with what I consume and things like that in terms of even just like products like edibles and vapes, things like that. But I like a fruitier smell. My favorite things in the world are not that, but I do tend to like something that's sweet because I like to have a nice, enjoyable experience.
Yeah, nice, enjoyable. Not.
Yeah.
When you go to the store and you ask
You're
them,
right, buddy.
When you, I'm a little flushed. When you go to the store and you ask them for breakfast ham, do they know what you're talking about? Do they hand you breakfast ham?
Zach, your mistake is I would never go to a store. I exclusively
Chicago.
Instacart, and Danny's like, let's just go to the store.
You can
It's-
Instacart breakfast.
I just search ham.
So.
Oh no, I coughed and now I'm done.
Oh,
It's on my throat.
did you ask me a question? No,
I think I already did for this one, didn't
I
I?
don't think so. I asked. you
Yeah,
first.
drink blunt rotation. It's ready for the last dab, Zach. We're there.
Number 10, the last dab. It's tradition.
It's tradition around here.
these parts.
Oh,
No,
fuck.
it's tradition around these
It's
parts. to
tradition
put
around here.
an extra dab. We're probably gonna do more than we should.
Oh,
And
I have no
hey,
sense of strength.
hey,
I
watch
sense
this.
it.
Watch this. Hey, and if you want to see us do more, patreon.com/can't disappoint podcast. We're gonna be dabbing it up after this. $5 a month. You can come hang out with us even more.
So Zach,
We're
I want
gonna
to
eat
harken
more
back
hot
for a
sauce.
second before we take this. Do you remember when we would be under the influence of anything?
Scoville
back in
TBA.
college?
Okay.
And we would have a moment where we
Anything.
went into an establishment where we'd go 1, 2, 3, sober, and we were fine.
You did that.
And I was always fine.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like you did that.
Old man Winters tip tapping about upstairs.
That one's just for us. So let's.
Go ahead, just put however much you put on. I have to match. Fuck
Oh,
you, Zach.
that was
You're
not
an
on
asshole.
purpose.
You
That-
gotta shake some of that off.
No, I'll do it.
Zach's a monster. I want you to show the people what you've done. Go ahead, get up, kick over your water, show them what the hell you just did. Zach, I'm never forgiving you for this.
It went from pouring very little to a big glob, and you got a match.
You're a piece of shit. I'm never gonna forgive you. That's too much. That's as much as we put on initially.
Make yours kiss so you could share it.
What do you say? We could kiss?
Make them kiss and you could share it. Well, you're gonna just pour it on there.
I want to cry.
I kind of think.
I want to cry.
Are you really upset about it?
Zach?
I think I still ended up with more.
We'll smush them.
We can smush them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do a side smush. Oh fuck!
I still have plenty. Don't worry.
I got a lot. Oh my god!
We've been looking forward to this for a long time. This is the last one. It's the last dab. Let's really enjoy it. I love you.
I love you, buddy. This has been fun. I wouldn't want to do this to anybody else. I
don't know if I would
wish-
ever want to do
There's
it.
nobody,
again.
Zach, that I both want to share this experience with you
Uh-huh.
as much as watch someone that I care about suffer more than doing this with you. Cheers. Let's do
Cheers.
it.
Oh,
Are you
God.
biting the whole sauce part?
Yes, of course. of
Okay,
course.
here we go. Mm-mm.
Oh my God.
Instant. I took like 3 bites. What the hell's wrong with me? That's gross. I don't like how hot that is. It's hot in a weird way. What's that flavor?
It doesn't taste good.
It just tastes bad.
It always hits me the worst after I finish swallowing the chicken because the chicken kind of helps.
The chicken helps.
That was the stalling.
That's too much. That's too much. That was too much.
I think you have to ask me a question.
Zach. Oh,
It makes the milk taste awful.
that's bad.
You have to take milk. Do milk. Oh.
Well, can I get some more milk, please? Mine's about going.
Yeah.
Zach, so this was the 100th pre-show.
Yep.
What
It hurts in my throat so bad.
in the essence,
It hurts in my throat so bad.
in the essence of the series finale of Community, what would episode 200 look like to you? How do we do it bigger? How do we do it better? What's next for us?
I don't know. 200 episodes now will be what, 50? To top this, we gotta go skydiving or bungee jumping and attach a camera to ourselves.
Okay, that'd be better. It's so hot. It's so bad. It's so
Oh
bad.
my
This is worse
God.
than the bomb.
Well, because of it's because of how much was on it.
That's so bad. Ugh.
So
It's everywhere.
when you watch Hot Ones, everyone freaks out about the bomb, and then the other two, even with the last dab, is like no problem. Don't get them wrong. The last dab is very, very spicy.
Oh, that's so bad. It hurts so bad.
I'm just drinking every liquid I got. Steven, in the anime or manga adaptation of your life, what's your character? What's his abilities? What's your hero's journey? Who are your friends? Who are your enemies? Who's the overarching villain? What's your genre?
It's a rom-com. Main character,
About dancers?
Suteban Bakur.
That's the worst part of this whole thing was whatever you just said. Bakur?
Bakuru.
Oh.
I am a...
Will, could I please have some more milk and another water bottle? I don't care. Just stat. Bakaru.
Oh my god, there's drool coming out. I might start passing gas soon. This is gonna get real gross in a second, guys. I'm sorry. Okay. I work at a dance studio, but secret. Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna pitch the manga I want to write. It's called The American's Idol. A dancer ends up teaching dance lessons to this very pretty young lady, and he doesn't know that she is a pop idol.
You thought about this before.
Because she has to keep her identity secret, but she needs to take dance lessons. They fall in love and start dating. He finds out she's a pop star. Look, can you have a paper towel when you get a chance? Finds out she's a pop star, but they have to keep their relationship secret.
A Hannah Montana situation.
Hannah Montana situation.
Kind of like Jake Ryan.
Yeah. I think it'd be fun in my life for that. Opening song, something by Eve. They're a cool J-rock band. Closing song, something really emotional. Something by either, I'm going to wipe my eye. Something by either Lisa or who sings Aimer, A-I-M-E-E-R, or E-R. She's a singer as well. Something by one of them, really powerful, emotional. Oh, that's gross. But yeah, I think that's it. Danny would be the pop idol girl because I love her. Shout out.
Could Danny be a pop star if she wanted to be?
Yeah.
Can she sing?
She doesn't think so.
But pop stars don't really have
Pop
to
stars
do
don't
it.
have to be sing. She's a great dancer, great performer. She's a star.
Oh,
She's my better half. Thanks, Danny, for being who you
um,
are. My last question for you. Did I ask you? I did.
did you?
Yeah, episode 200. That's it. We did it.
But the thing is,
This camera, this camera, this camera, this camera. I think I'm okay. I'm gonna say it out loud. 1, 2, 3, sober. I'm fine. I'm okay. Sauce is done. I'm great. I had a moment. I'm back.
Into the Time Knife. Every Monday we talk about The Good Place. Brokeback Bebop. Every Thursday we talk about Cowboy Bebop. Patreon.com/Can't Disappoint podcast. Every Thursday we talk about That 70s Show in the Basement.
Check out Into the Time Knife.
The Community movie, as soon as it comes, we're gonna handle it. We're gonna eat more hot sauce in a little bit on Patreon. Come and ask each other spicier questions. Come hang out on Patreon.
Follow us on Twitter. We've got a bunch of them. At You Can't Diss a Pod. At Brokeback Bebop. Is that what it's called on Twitter? I don't know that one. At Time Knife Pod. Check out what we've got going on. So much great
YouTube,
stuff.
Facebook.
Thank you for the congratulations. I can't believe we made it.
Thank you.
Shout out to Lil for the poster and for running this. Shout out to Danny for helping us get set up today.
$5. Give us $5. Come hang out with us.
Come on,
longer.
we just went
Come
through
hang
all
out.
this. This is much less than I did to get that underwhelming girls number in high school. We just did this.
I understand when Paul Rudd said, "Who would have thought?" Not me, because the journey from Wings 1 through 4.
They were Zach. I'll say up through Mushroom Mayhem was not much for us.
This one was a little spicy. Favorite 2, least favorite 2.
Favorite 2, probably honestly,
I don't even remember now.
the Los Calientes.
Uh-huh.
I really liked. I think the Banji Ranch. Least favorite 2, the Last Dab was bad.
Yeah.
And I don't think I liked the Mushroom Mayhem one either.
So you're not going to bomb for worst?
Actually, no.
Worst 2. What do you eat this again?
If I had to, like for a
Drop. The bomb is the worst. The Last Dab is the worst. This one tastes bad.
That's really bad. That's unpleasant. We got a lot of that all over our tongue.
I really like this one.
That one was good for you.
I think I like this one too.
That one was cool. That one has some really
I
good
like
meat
this
to
one
it.
too.
I could see myself eating that one again.
I think we're done.
Zach, we gotta do it.
Do what? Oh. From long before we had a podcast, Steven and I have been able to do the Troy and Abed handshake perfectly. We've never been in person together on this to be able to do it.
Screen.
Our senses are ramshackled. Do you think we can do it?
I really don't think so. I don't think I'm operating on the same time as everyone else right now. Like everything's pulsing. Like
Whenever I close my eyes, I go to a different place for a second.
whoa.
Okay.
Let me get my angle right.
Yeah.
Should we stand?
Should we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it. Oh, there's some wall here. We got this.
That's one of our worst
That was
ones,
great.
lucky
That
man.
was good.
Guys,
Proud of us.
thank you for watching. 10 wings up,
Give
10
us
wings
money,
down.
please. Oh,
This
my
was really
stomach's
fun.
empty.
Listen to today's podcast and thanks for supporting us. Bye. Have a good night.
Thanks for
everybody.
watching, everyone.
Come
We
hang out
love
on
you.
Patreon.
It means a lot.
We love you.
Thank you.
End it at any time. Goodbye.